Have you ever, like, hit an emotional wall so hard that you just, you needed an immediate system reboot just to keep functioning?
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there.
Right. Well, today we're jumping right into our deep dive of Dr. Feng Cheng Carr's book, Jaw Mindful Gym Now W, and unpacking exactly how to pull off that mental reset.
Yeah, and we are completely bypassing standard, weekend spa day self-care advice here.
Exactly. We're looking at real emotional first aid, specifically through the lens of a COVID-19 frontline healthcare worker.
I mean, it's a story from the book that puts us in a really intense scenario. The physical and emotional toll was just unprecedented, and taking a weekend off or like running a bubble bath just was not an option at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this. You're talking about a frontliner in the middle of a brutal shift, weighed down by all those layers of PPE, sitting alone and just thinking, I can't do this anymore.
It's heartbreaking, really.
It really is. And, we've all heard that classic analogy about stress being like holding a glass of water, right? Where it's not the actual weight of the water, but how long you hold it.
Yeah, the duration is the actual killer there.
Right. And applied to a pandemic frontliner, that cliche takes on a much, much darker reality.
Oh, definitely. If you hold it all day, your arm basically feels paralyzed.
Hmm.
And this frontliner was trapped at the absolute worst intersection of, stress, burnout, and compassion fatigue.
Compassion fatigue is so real.
It is. When you're witnessing severe suffering every single day without any break, your emotional reserves just dry up completely. I mean, the heart just exhausts itself.
So when you reach that level of like total emotional paralysis, a standard deep breath just won't save you. You need an immediate cognitive intervention, which the book calls the 5 mindful vitamins.
I love that framing. And these aren't just, empty affirmations.
Right. They're actual cognitive shifts designed to change your brain state in real time. So the first vitamin asks, what have I learned? And in that moment, the frontliner's realization was incredibly functional. They just realized, I need rest before I collapse.
Which is so powerful because it instantly shifts the brain from panic into observation mode.
Wow. Yeah, that makes total sense.
And then there's vitamin 4, which is, what can I do now? This one is crucial because trauma and overwhelm strip away our sense of agency.
You just feel totally helpless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But by narrowing your focus to the next micro step, like, I don't know, taking off your goggles or just drinking a single sip of water, you bypass the brain's overwhelmed fear center.
You regain a sliver of control.
Yes, a sliver of control over your own body.
And then you pair that with vitamin 2, which is I am not alone, acknowledging that every other worker in that hospital is sharing this exact same fear. And vitamin 5, this will also pass. But I do have to push back a little on vitamin 3.
Oh, it could have been worse one.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't that risk crossing the line into toxic positivity?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're in a deadly pandemic, but cheer up.
I mean, it definitely sounds like it on the surface, but the mechanism is actually the exact opposite of toxic positivity.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, toxic positivity denies the pain, right? It pretends everything is fine. But this vitamin acts as a vital reality check. When you are severely burned out, your brain naturally defaults to catastrophic thinking.
Oh, where you believe absolutely everything is ruined and hopeless.
Exactly. Asking, could it have been worse, stops that downward spiral. The frontliner noted that despite the absolute horror, some patients were actually improving.
So it anchors your mind back to the facts rather than just the fear.
Right. It brings you back to reality so you can actually deal with it.
Which leads right into the book's core coping framework, AM, or accept, adjust, move on. And the book uses this Tetris analogy for this, which I think illustrates the concept perfectly.
It really does. Because you can't stop the blocks from falling.
Right? The heavy shifts, the bad news, the pandemic itself, those blocks are dropping no matter what you do.
But you retain the power to adjust the blocks as they land. I mean, emotional first aid didn't magically shorten that hospital shift.
Or make the protective gear any lighter.
Exactly. What these 5 vitamins did was allow that frontliner to accept the brutal reality of the moment, adjust their neurological and emotional reaction to it, and then safely move on to the next patient.
Accept, adjust, move on.
I love that. And this brings us to the core mantra of the text, which is self-care is we care. Because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Especially if your arm is completely paralyzed from holding it without a break.
Right. It really forces us to examine how we prioritize our own daily well-being.
We are just so conditioned to immediately bandage a physical scrape, Yet we often just let our minds bleed out while we try to push through our daily tasks. That is such a striking image. So if you are listening to this right now and feeling like your own cup is getting way too heavy, think about this. If you treated your daily mental distress with the exact same immediate urgency as a bleeding physical wound, how would your routines change today?
That is a really profound question to sit with.
It is. So the next time you hit an emotional wall, remember, you might just need a vitamin.